All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to another day of a BA Agile Scrum track. It's day 2 of a business analysis track, and we are going to talk about something more in detail. Last time we had touched based about just basics, history, and need of the role and the work. So let's get started with our very own code of honor. Why code of honor is necessary to be reminded? Because it's quite easy to get started on this journey with the vision in mind, with the purpose in mind, with the target in mind. It's very easy to get started, but on this journey it is equally very easy to fizzle out on the goal. Okay, and forget what was the main purpose for which we had joined in. So we had joined in to just get placed with the only purpose, and we have to keep this purpose at very super priority. And for that, keeping that purpose on super priority, we every single session in talk about code of honor, which requires to protect our the very same goal. And we come up with the 6 code of honor. Code of conduct is the very first one is showing up live, that is on time, punctual, and remaining highly committed. Why? We are practicing it to implement it once we get placed, because it is said with the universal law, how you do anything is how you do everything. Okay. So second one is talking about when you have joined Guru schools. We have talked about 6 pillars of Guru schools. The very first one is instructor led free training. And because it's a training and you are attending, you become the student. But now on this path, you are requested to become a full stack student. So how you become a full stack student? By doing all the assignments like you are doing, and doing self research, repeating what you learned. So yes, I see in your videos that you are doing the assignments, you are summarizing it. So summarizing as per code of honor number 5. So how you're summarizing, we'll talk about it. So let's move to the third code of honor, is taking the full responsibility. The way you are moving up, the way you are doing your self research, the one thing is going to come, that is the fulfillment of the purpose, and that gives you the success. So you can definitely take the responsibility, but equally you can take the responsibility of failure once you are not able to achieve the success, because you are not really standing upon completing all the assignment and not doing your self research. So that may also give you a sense of the failure. But remember, the moment you realize that it is the contribution towards your own end, then you take the responsibility of it. And the moment you take its responsibility, the very same failure become the trail for the success. Okay, so always remember to take the complete responsibility, not the halfway. Okay, when you take it full 100%, you complete the circle and the path of the success. The fourth one is on this journey, you need to have a very robust mindset of learning. And when you are learning, always remember to go complaint free, because the more complaint free your mind will have, the more learnable it will become, or more receptive it will become to reside more new learning, in fact, I would say. And to make it with the learning mindset, you must not only go complaint free, also remain positive and load yourself with the gratitude. Okay, okay. So, and on the fifth note is, while these all are happening, you must increase your receptivity. How do you do that? By listening to the strangest secret, the audio, the very audio I have shared with you all, requesting every single day, listen to it at least once. However, the speaker himself says it that listen to it thrice in a day. But I would say that considering your time constraint, in fact, these long 30 minutes audios can be finished up just within 15 minutes if you put it in 2x mode, and you can definitely complete it. It keep your entire day charged up and continue to bring the kind of a result you can't even imagine, and that all happen on very subtle level, very hard to notice. But yes, this is how it goes working in your life. So, and the second thing is that how you can start your day with the stranger secret, and also how you can increase your receptivity. You can increase by following the golden quadrant of learning, which says that start your learning with the declaration. The moment you declare and complete your learning, don't forget to draw it on a piece of paper. Yes, I'm talking drawing on the piece of paper, not taking print out, or not taking anything which is printed. So it has to be connected with your hand, because that time it install a very stronger dendrite connection inside your brain to retain your memory longer. And the moment you touch base the fourth step, that is towards the summarizing, how you have been summarizing whatever you are learning, you are just putting up into the video mode and you are publishing the very summary. And this is the summary you are just placing with the intent that what you have understood, now I have to just publish. Now add our new more intent. When you are publishing it, publish with the intent that I am going to tell this to someone, so that the person who will listen to it can teach the very similar concept just within my my 2 minutes or 3 minutes of summary. It gets more power, and then you will be astonished to know how powerfully you are publishing it or summarizing it, and that also adds a lot of value for others who are listening to it for very first time. So on this note, are you ready for the declaration? So declaration is going to be with this string. So are you all ready, please?
Yes.
Yes. So at the count of three, how we are going to declare with the setting up an anchor. Anchor is nothing but a clap, self hi-fi. At the count of three, I'll do a self hi-fi, I'll copy it, and then repeat what I'm going to say. That is the selected word after the anchor, that is self hi-fi. So 1, 2, 3, and anchor. I am a quick learner. What others can learn and master,
What others can learn and master,
I too can do that.
I too can do that.
And once again, 1, 2, 3, an anchor. Because I am an awesome learner,
Because I'm an awesome learner,
today's learning is going to be super duper easy to me.
today's learning is
Learning
going
is
to
going
be
to be
super
super duper
duper
easy.
easy.
Yes, exactly. It is going to be, because just now you said so. But remember, the very last is that when you are learning, also remember to be a giver. So what you need to give now on this path, give your ego away, that expand the horizon of learning, and again the receptivity mode. So remember to give away the ego so that you can learn a lot, enhance your capacity to digest whatever you have learned, and this intent keep you spiritually grounded on this path of growth. And while this all is happening, excuse me, I would request someone to, okay, so that's done. So yeah, so that makes you more spiritually grounded on this path of learning, where you are putting your giving your ego away. And also I would request personally everyone, if you are already earning some amount, have an intent to do a charity, to give away to the society. Why? When you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And if you are not earning member at this moment, at least set this intent that when I'll start earning, certain percentage of my earning, be it 5% or 10%, I am going to do charity for it. So put this amount in certain causes. Okay, just for example, by donating some amount into the mosque or church or in temple, in gurudwara, or into some causes like feeding hungry child or something like that, or donating to some orphanages or something like that you can think of. And why? Again, as I said, not only to give, that has the power to let you grow, but also to inspire who are knowing that some such kind of activity you are doing. So give to grow and inspire others. Okay, and remember to appreciate whatever you are doing and also others are doing for you, and what doesn't happen to you on this complete process, because happening and not happening is letting you go towards the next step. So every single step is preparing for you further next step. Remember, that is another universal law. And while you are appreciating, when you appreciate, that appreciates you back. So remember this universal law. And on this very note, let's get started. By the way, I just wanted to tell you that anchor is very, very important. Anchor is like, if you will not put anchor for the ship in the sea, then don't you think that it will remain constant at one place? So in the similar manner, if you don't put anchor before just declaration, still the mind may wander. But when you put the anchor, it will stick with the very intent for which you have declared, that is towards the learning. And that's the reason this is the anchor self clap for your mind to learn what you are going to learn. So I'm resharing my screen in front of you, and the moment you see that, please confirm me that you can see that. And wait a second. All right, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
great. So what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn, like last time we have seen business analysis and its need, and as a role, and as a position. Okay, and as a work. So we have seen all about, we have talked about how easy this role is, but again, it's easy but not so easy. We need to have certain awareness before we are implementing at work. So what we are going to look at today is tools for analysis and reporting and requirement gathering, data-driven decision making, and business analytics with Excel. But on this note, at the same point, I want to just appreciate each one of you who are taking extra effort, like doing your self research. You all are doing really, really, really amazing job. I am super delighted to see your videos. So I just now saw that Prajakta has posted, Disha had posted, I think Ruby, Elizabeth, and Shada, and yeah, so all videos are really amazing. So round of applause. You can also appreciate yourself by unmuting yourself, and 1 2 3 and applaud. Thank you so much. You're doing really amazing. You can
Really well done. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really, really happy to see all this extra effort you are putting in doing self research, and you are grabbing it like Ruby has done about burn up and burn down chart. You have talked little bit extra on capacity and velocity, which was not the part of this previous session, but also it was some extra video put on. So good job, great work. So keep up this work, and this will open the horizon for you. So I'm sure I can see that all of you, the way you are performing, definitely it's not very far that you won't get place. So remember to continue this journey. As I say, that every single day is contributing towards your growth, except the Wednesday is given to you for breather. So don't remember to not to miss out on RRP session with Devji, even if it is It may sound repetitive. I'm going to encourage you to repeat it, because visibility, credibility, and marketability is the triangle of getting placed. Okay, so the more visible you will be in RRP session, the more push your HR are also going to get, and also they are knowing that how much keen you are, and you are just not dropping. You have not just here for taking the training, but sure to get placed. Okay, so Prerna ji, welcome, and I want you to take this up, and if you can get started. So this is from the slide one. So various tools we are here going to talk about. So you have taken this up already. So if you want to take this, you can. Otherwise, you can tell me. I will. Am I audible, Prerna?
Yeah, Gaurav, you can continue.
Yes. Okay, no problem. So here, tools for business analysis and reporting. We have seen that in this position, in this job of business analysis, various tools are being used. Now, when we are talking about tools, even the Zoom is one of the tool. Okay. So Zoom has its own purpose, just to set up the meet and conduct the okay, wait. Can you see in the presentation mode now? No? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. So what you see on the screen are the list of some tools. Okay. So the one is Microsoft Office suite. So in this suite, various tools comes into the picture, like even the PPT, PowerPoint slide itself is one of the suite, one of the tool as a part of suite. Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, these all tools are there. So those are used by business analysts. So what is business analysis, you have known, but what is the usage of these tools, that's also those things also you are going to learn. Okay, but for now you can just take a screenshot of it and take a note of it, that these are few of the tools that you might encounter, or you may end up using it once you get placed, and once you will start working as a business analyst. Okay, so another one is Google Docs. So again, Google Docs is a cloud version of Google, just like Microsoft Word. Then Rational Prerequisite Pro. Again, this is the bundle, gives you, this is the IBM product, and Microsoft has its own product. Similarly, IBM has its own. Then it comes that Balsamic, then SWOT, so then Pencil, then Trello, then Smart Draw, then Rick version 1. These are few names of some tools, and every tool comes with its own feature to help in terms of requirement gathering. What is requirement gathering and all, we are going to talk about that as well. But for now, understand that like this, these are just few tools. Like this, there are n number of tools in the market. Okay, so yeah, so this is what you see. What is the use of these tools? The very first one which we are talking over here is about the Microsoft PowerPoint. So this application of Microsoft Office suite come under the best business analysis tool list, because every time, even when we are talking, every time we have used this Microsoft PowerPoint in this training as well. Okay, so yeah, this software is used to prepare and deliver formal presentation, even while you are gathering requirements and all. So you happen to use this tool more frequently. Even sometimes people gather and design the tools and models and drawing and some flow charts in sometime Microsoft PowerPoint, and they present. So a business analyst often faces the situation where he needs to communicate ideas, justify or deliver project updates to stakeholders. Okay, and this communication becomes more effective in the form of a presentation through PowerPoint. So how many of you have used the PowerPoint, Microsoft PowerPoint already in past? So may I know how many of you? I'm assuming,
I have.
okay, everyone must have. Okay, okay. I see that lot of hand raised, but
Yeah,
yeah,
Gaurav, I just want to add something. If they haven't, they can definitely see right now because we have our, all the study materials in the form of PPT only, which we always showcase in the session. So I am
exactly.
pretty sure every one of them, if not they, their kids or their spouses have used and they must have seen the PPT. But if not, our sessions is the proper gateway when they can see how we slide through each and each slide in the PPT, right?
True, true.
So yes, just wanted to add.
Yeah, no worries. So yes, so rightly said by Prerna. So you can see every single day we are using Microsoft PowerPoint, and then comes Microsoft Excel. How many of you use Microsoft Excel? I believe everyone must have. So yes, Disha has used it. Tejaswini has used, Radha, Elizabeth, Pamita, and everyone. Thank you so much for confirming. So the beauty is that Excel has its vast uses, but however, we are not using Microsoft Excel to its full potential. And every single day, Microsoft Excel is something which becomes the learnable tool. And in fact, I admit that I myself keep on learning. It's a new feature. It has amazing new feature. The best, most features as a business analyst you would be using to create a pivot table, examining the trends in data, sort and filter the data, creating charts or graphs. All the tasks mentioned above can be well performed using Microsoft Excel, which is spreadsheet-like tool. Along with it, and Excel provides several built-in mathematical and financial function which can aid data analysis. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure as a teacher, as an HR, or as a previous employee and current employee must be using it. But I would like to know that for what purpose you have used Microsoft Excel. So can you just tell me, for calculation purpose, I'm sure you might have used. Apart from so how many of you have already used for summing it up, summing some cells, and bringing its total? Okay, so Disha and Sharda has used. Okay,
Yeah, I used
Ruby
it,
has
but it's long back now. It's like, almost 10 years back I used it. I don't remember even anything
okay.
now.
Okay, super. No problem. Thank you so much. So yeah, Ruby Elizabeth, Sharda, Radha, Aprazita, Tejaswini, and Disha has used. So tell me, apart from this, can you tell me something which you have used and that could be useful to know, and you think that maybe someone from this screen might not have used? Means something you have used and others might not have used. So it might be possible. Like, let me ask you, how many of you have used for creating a macro, recording a macro and running it? Because macro is something very advanced. Okay, I see Apamita has used, Radha used. Okay, superb. So the
No. I forgot to lower my hand before.
okay,
Sorry.
Yeah, same
no
to me.
problem. Okay, no problem. So anyways, it is not mandatory to always use for macro. Macro we use for to avoid the repetition of tasks. You can simply automate few things using Microsoft Excel. But yeah, it has got the various features. So I would like to tell you, like arranging the data, sorting the data, and summarizing the data. So these can be achieved, even sorting and filter can be achieved through Microsoft Excel. When you are doing a lot of activity and you need to manage those data, and those data are not 1, 2, 3, 4, 200. These are vast and many such data. Then it is vital to arrange them, summarize them, so that it becomes easy to understand. For that, you can use the pivot table. So you will be learning more about it in few coming days. Then again, other comes as a Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word, I'm sure that most of you might have used, right? Please say yes if you have used.
Yes.
Thank you, Tejaswini and Disha,
Yes.
Ruby, Elizabeth, Apamita, Disha, and yeah, everyone. So yes, you have used it. So yes, basic your CV preparation that happens inside Microsoft Word, and Microsoft Word serves the purpose of requirement specification document. Now, remember that as a business analyst, this is the document on which you're most of the time you will start with this document, and the very thing it will be useful by every stakeholder in the organization, almost including you, because you are preparing it. This is one kind of a bible which compiles and stores all the requirement what customer might have communicated to you. Okay, so this is the document which comes into the picture inside Microsoft Word. It can be prepared, but there is some advancement. I'm going to talk about it now. No more such bibles are needed, but we have some, everything goes under ticket. We transfer all the requirement in one ticket in the various epics, and thereby we break it down further in user story. Again, every single thing undergo and get place inside some tool, project management tool. Like one very popular is agile sorry very popular is Atlassian Jira. So that is one of the tool where everything undergo and becomes a ticket. So everything is turning into ticket, be it the huge hefty requirement. So organization can create this specific template for documenting the requirements. It is a utility application which allows user preferred fonts, theme, objects, shape, smart arts, charts, and even option to embed Visio diagram. So these all comes under Microsoft Word. But what is Visio? So let me ask you now, how many of you have used Microsoft Visio? Okay, Avamita has used it. Okay, so Visio is a kind of a tool which helps you to create diagrams. Okay, so this is the powerful tool. Microsoft Visio is a modeling tool that business analysts use to effectively capture and present stakeholders' idea in the form of business function. So you can put in your creativity inside. You can create designs, diagram, and showcase the connectivity and communication between two elements of a requirement of two technical movement of a software. So those things you can start showcasing and demonstrating inside the Microsoft Visio design document. Okay, so the main utilities of Visio are creating UML diagrams such as use case, sequence diagram, and activity diagram. Sequence diagram could be very, very simple. Let me ask you this question, a very simple thing. Okay, so you need not to answer it, but you can think of it. You are outside of your home. Okay, and somehow uh, your home is locked because you are returning from a shopping, and you remember that some wonderful cake was baked and it is there in the refrigerator, and then you happen to just eat it. No one else is there in the home, and you are just standing, room is closed, and the cake is still kept inside the refrigerator. And if it is in refrigerator, so there are a lot many things are going to do, but to reach to refrigerator, you have to go inside the room, and you have to just cross one room. So that's it. So I have to ask you this question: how many steps it will take to start eating the cake? So you can think of it, and either you can type into the chat window, or you can raise your hand if you are ready with the steps. You are outside your room. Okay, room is locked. Outside your home is locked, and to reach to your fridge, you just need to cross one room, and you have to start eating. How many steps it will take you to start eating the cake? Can you think of it?
First you have to open the door. So you have to get your key, open the front door,
Mm-hmm.
walk your way and pass the first room,
Mm-hmm.
get to where the fridge is, open the fridge,
Mm-hmm.
take the cake out.
Mm-hmm.
You might want to eat it with your hands. I don't know. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
cut it, then you have to get the plates and, the silverwares, and then cut it and then put it in your mouth and it goes on its way.
Yeah, start chewing. And yes, so brilliant. Yes, so did you find that everything was broken down in the step by step way? So yes, how many steps? Anyone did count? Yeah, almost 10 step, right? So this is how you are putting everything in a step by step manner, and that you can apply in the sequence diagram. Okay, these all the steps are there. These all sequence we have to undergo, and these all are activities we need to perform. And you can process a flow chart. Now the moment diagram comes into the picture, always remember that flow chart is the base of it. Okay, you can create a data model and generate architecture diagram. So yes, this is another one. And then comes the requirement gathering. So requirement gathering, the moment we talk about requirement gathering, is nothing but for functional and non-functional requirement gathering. So non-functional is nothing but you gather the requirement about the performance of a software or system, how it should be doing once it will be ready. Also about stability, how your customer wants to see it stable, and what circumstances also it should be stable. One software is to accept the reservation of air ticket in a plane, and this website can handle at least load of concurrent 100 users logging in, logging out, or 1,000 users logging in, logging out, not more than that. If customers specify that if beyond 1,000, it may gives that system is busy, or too much load on the server, or something like some graceful prompt to the user that it may take time for their reservation if 1,001 person when joins in and logging in. So I'm just giving you random picture, but now the stakeholders have become smart, and they don't need only tell 1,000. They want their system to bear uh, as much access load as it is possible from around the globe. So these all things comes towards the non-functional. Again, the security is important for such software, and the technicality, all those will be grabbed inside technical requirement document. However, in functional requirement document, or before functional requirement document, it comes statement of work that comes from client, gets signed off in the agreement with both of you as a vendor and client. So you talk about more feature, usability, capabilities, and operations of a product. What you see in the diagram is talking about the business requirement, stakeholder requirement, and solution requirement. This is entirely called as a transition requirement model. So when the moment solution requirement comes into the picture, it grabs the complete data of functional requirement and non-functional requirement. For the sake of knowing, you must be knowing, but remember, at the end nowadays, things undergo inside tickets and gets broken out. But yeah, still sometime you will have to create these document. Okay, are you good so far? Are you able to understand whatever I'm speaking up and bringing in front of you? Easy
Yes.
for everyone. Thank you for confirming. So in case you don't find it, you can simply talk about it. So this is a one kind of example of requirement. So this requirement says that, so like it is talking about what we want to achieve, where we want to achieve, when we want to achieve, and why we want to achieve. In the similar manner, you can go ahead with these questions: what, where, when, and why, and you can start collecting the requirement inside your what we call inside your document. Okay, so initially you create the requirement, gather requirement, or grab requirement roughly, and when you have these questions ready, you quickly fill them up. Okay, so while these questions will be answered, you will also come up with the assumption. Okay, this is pre-assumed. Okay, and you are very much clear that what you are not going to do, what your team is not going to include. Okay, if it is not included, it means it will be excluded. But when you are excluding, you need to mention that your customer is not going to understand until you mention it. So here one is example of PayPal integration into website. How many of you know about PayPal? How many of you have used PayPal? Okay, so yeah, so I think everyone, so many of you have used. So on a website, PayPal integration has to happen. When, say for example, on Amazon website, just before payment or just before checking out, you have shopped some item, you have added them into cart, and uh, when you are where you are using it at the checkout, you are going to use it. And when it will happen, within step 3 or 4 in the checkout experience, after the shipping address web form is confirmed, is filled in, your web form is filled in with the address, and just before that just before checkout, inside checkout, this PayPal button will be used. Why? So this will establish the integration, and this is a better solution than a robust custom built integration for a payment service. In this case, because it easily meets client's requirement. He wants this facility to be given to their customer, and they can experience the hassle-free payment. Okay, so here few assumption will be there, that flat fee for all shipping and handling charges will be there, that will be added. All shipping is within the US, and it is not going to include Alaska and Hawaii. So and taxes do not apply over here. And then it is also talking about exclusion, that it is not going to it is not going to consider, custom shipping and handling charges and its calculation. It won't ship internationally to Alaska or to Hawaii. Tax rules, and because it is excluding international shipping, then other countries, and other than the existing cities or counties, not all the tax rules will separate tax rule will be applied. So remember, the smaller the data between client expectation and reality with their digital product, the happier your client is going to be with the end result. Okay, so smaller data is the key. So customer will talk, we will talk. Okay, so you might have seen different people. So even in an interviewer, you might experience two types of people: who is asking long question, okay, and expecting some answer from you. And there are still few interviewer, they ask you very small question, you don't even ask them to repeat. Okay, but yeah, this is normal human tendency. But why I'm telling you this? Because the focus should be chunking every requirement down. Okay, making it as small as possible so that it becomes understandable. And this is going to be your job as a business analyst once you get placed. Did you understand, by the way, this requirement of PayPal integration? Did you understand, everyone, that on
Yes.
a card you are integrating it? Thank you so much for your confirmation. Okay, all right. So what is the process of requirement gathering. You start with taking notes. So you will visit, imagine you are with your product owner or project manager. Now you are on customer visit. Now there are two ways to interact with customer, and now via Zoom, like I'm interacting with you. Customer is going to talk about their requirement. So as a business analyst, ready with pen and paper and start taking notes. When you are taking notes, so be very, very creative as much as possible. And when you are becoming a creative, you don't forget to use your pictorial representation of the conversation, make some annotation and write. So once you have done it, you have done it roughly. Okay, so now the meeting is over, and when you come back, then this at fourth stage, what you can do is that you can put them in a document. Okay, so in document, how it is. So first, there are various requirement document. So not hard and fast rule that this is how the requirement document is, but yes, every company use their template differently. So when you will get placed, your company might have its own format. You can use them, but certain key element will go inside. Also, when you will Google it out, you will find n number of requirement document template. So I'm going to give you this task. So after today's session, what you are going to do is that you are going to download certain template of requirement document. Okay, so go ahead and type functional specification document or requirement document template, download it, keep it. And once you are ready with the requirement incorporation from first step to third step, and you have just embedded and grabbed them inside the Word, Microsoft Word, or call it requirement document, hold an internal review where other team member who were the part of this requirement gathering process, they review it and they finalize. This is what is talked about, what was talked about. This was what all the expectation are considered inside this document. So once you are satisfied, on the next step, that is step number 6, you will be it is wise to do hold an external review where customer will also come into the picture. He will understand, and there is possibility that he may give sign off. So getting a sign off from your customer should be the another key. So remember to get the sign off onto this. Okay, so what we are going to do is that, so far you have understood what is the process of requirement gathering, right? Let's understand one beautiful model which we will call it as a data driven decision making. So what happens when you gather a requirement? A requirement is nothing but any software or any project is nothing but a problem taking a shape of solution. Okay, so a problem taking a shape of solution. When I am going to talk about this, then remember that, and there are various ways to resolve a problem. So every software is a requirement, and every requirement is a solution given to a problem. So in the similar way, a framework comes into the picture, that is the 5-step picture, 5-step solution, that is called as data driven decision making. And now this data driven decision making is so much powerful that it can be achieved, our solution can be achieved in 5 simple steps. You can take a picture of it and apply in any problem related to software development, requirement gathering, or even personal issue resolution. Okay, so how does it happen? So it's very tough. Just get, it's easy to get annoyed by sensing and facing the problem. Okay, the moment problem occurs, you may get annoyed. But then so remember as a child how difficult it was when you were to tell about any problem, like a child is crying and you are approaching to a child asking why you are crying. If this instance is very first time, the child will not be able to answer because he does not know how to communicate about that problem. Okay, so this is the art to define a problem. It is said that when you define a problem, the solution half achieved. Okay, the problem is half solved. Okay, so the very key step is defining a problem. Okay, how you are defining that exactly talks about that what exactly you want. So the very first step. And once the problem is defined, then analyze the data. Data means what is undergoing inside that problem. Okay, and when you are analyzing the data, the third step should automatically appear. That is nothing but developing an insight. So these data will come up with the various insight. So this is becoming the step number 3. And if multiple insights are coming, then what you are going to do is that you will be keeping those insights on the test. So test 1, 2, 3, 4, various tests will happen. Then you will see that some insight has worked. Okay, and that is the time you will review your result, that which insight was more powerful, and that will become the solution for you. So this entire 5-step journey is also called as data driven decision making, DDDM. Okay, so this what you see here is called as data driven decision model. Okay, so now some example has been given applying the data driven decision making framework to an online marketing. Okay, so we are going to look at it. The very first example is given. A person is trying to define his problem. He's saying that I am not making enough money from my advertising campaign. Say, for example, the customer is selling a product online. Okay, and he says that I'm not making enough money. So what do you mean by not making enough money? So first he will define the problem. So he says that when he exactly think and reach to the final problematic statement, and he says that, okay, I am falling short of my revenue goal. So he might have some target of making certain revenue by selling his product. Okay, so in online marketing, he is not able to make certain expected revenue. By the way, let me ask you this question. How many of you have used Facebook in past? I hope everyone might have. So tell me if anyone is here have not used it. Okay, so everyone has used it. Okay, thank you. If you have not used it, you can say that I have not used it. So generally, we'll take an example when it comes to online marketing. So say, for example, the customer runs his advertisement and he is supposed to achieve some revenue goal, and he is not able to. So now what he is going to do is that he is going to analyze this problem. So when he will analyze, what he is seeing that I am missing on my lead goal KPI by 50%. Say, for example, when he his product cost is, say, for example, $7. Okay, or say $10. So $10 of one product he is selling online, and he says that to achieve my revenue goal, I must be selling at least 100 unit of my product. So I'll receive $1,000. Okay, so he says that I am missing out on my lead goal. So they are not receiving this $1,000 approach because they are only getting 50 customer. That becomes the 50%. So insight is that I am missing out on 75% of search impression shared due to lack of advertising budget. Why only 50% leads are coming? So he says that because the 75% only impression is reported. Okay, because I have very less budget. So say for example, he says that I am putting out $1,000 in to receive $1,000 out. Okay, uh, and it can be done by taking 100 customers in to buy. He says that only 75% impression is happening. Okay, so say for example, impression means what? First you have your own campaign, you run your campaign, and then the campaign will have the reach, and that reach, it's 20%. Say for example, campaigns reach will go inside. I'm just giving you the statistical data of any online campaigning. Okay, so what I was talking about, campaign and the reach. Okay, so after reach, impression appears. Say for example, whatever the reach was, it's 75% only impression has come, and after impression there will be certain engagement, and after certain engagement there will be some leads, and after some leads there will be certain conversion. So here, understanding this framework, it has been considered that lead has been converted and thereby expecting the revenue, and here the reach has become the impression, and that is why it is talking about 75% he is missing out, and 25% only he is able to make, and that 25% is his 50% of lead. Now what he will do, he is coming with the various insight. Okay, as I said that there will be various insight. So the customer will think over here, what else can be done? So he can think of narrowing down his search. Okay, so when he will narrow down his search, he may apply more budget to reach out to every household about his product. That is one way. Second, randomly he will increase his budget of ad advertisement and let his advertisement reach to a larger level at the country. Okay, so this is how it can be done. So finally, in the next fourth phase, what is going to happen is he decides, let's increase the advertising budget by 50% for 30 days and test it. So in result, what happened exactly? Increased as budget, ad budget over increased ad budget, improved impression share, resulting in lead KPIs behind achieved and revenue goal. So he says that reach has increased, impression has increased, and then engagement has increased on online marketing under his product, and thereby more inquiries are coming, and thereby he experienced the even conversion is happening. So in this 5-step process, he understood that what was missing out, that was the just enhancing the ad budget cost. That's it. So let's see further what exactly how it has been stated up. So by the way, did you understand this example before we get into all these what, why, um, when and exactly all those questions? So was this example understood by everyone? I was talking about one online marketing product, and what was the problem. So any question over there? So customer was not able to get his revenue what he was expecting from the ad. Hello everyone, did you understand, or do you have any question?
Understood.
Understood. Okay, so I hope you were not sleeping when I was uh, explaining. So is it understood by everyone? I just heard two voices said understood.
Yes.
It was a very detailed explanation, Gaurav. I doubt anybody would sleep. Yeah, I think they were there. Please
Okay,
respond, guys. Yeah.
thanks. So let me go back. So this is what you see over here. There was a problem statement, analysis was done, insight was done, though that were tested, and then result was in front of us. So he made this statement, I am falling short of my revenue goal. Then the what came into the picture, that is the analysis. Okay. And he said that I'm missing my monthly lead acquisition goal KPI by 50%. Okay, that's what he analyzed. Then insight came into the picture, the why he is missing. So I'm missing out on 75% of my search impression due to a lack of advertisement budget compared to my closest bid competitor. Okay, so now he had also some study on his competitor as well. Then for test he asked the question, so simplest thing, that problem you need to identify first. Okay, what is the problem, then analyze what is happening inside the problem. Okay, so you will get in more detail. Then ask this question, why this is happening, and the moment you will ask the why, you will develop various insight. Okay, so the insight itself will lead you towards the how. So it is said that the stronger your why is, the easiest your how is. So how will give you more test uh, to perform so that you can reach out to the result. Okay, so he says further that I'm missing out to 75% of my search impression due to a lack of advertisement budget compared to my closest bid competitor. And inside the how, as a fourth step, I'm going to test increase my advertising spend by 50% of the course of a month to see if I can increase my search impression share. Okay, so and the in result, what happens, increasing my advertising budget result resulted in a 100% increase in search impression share, resulting in my lead acquisition goal KPI being achieved. And I have compared the result against my ROAS, that is return on advertisement, advertising spend, and return on investment figures for the last 30 days compared to previous month, and I can see improvement here as well. So this is what your client says. Now this model, which has 5 steps, that is the problem, analysis, insight, test, and result, you can apply on any problem, on any freaking problem, but has to be defined very, very well. So if you want to test it, you can just ask me to hang on and share that this is the problem, I want it, the solution to be achieved using DDM. I'll be able to help you to reach out to the solution, and we have done many times in the live session. So if you want to test by your own, you can do so definitely. And if you need any help, you can come back and ask. And if you want to share anything, you can quickly ask me while I'm flipping the chart. Okay, flipping the deck, flipping this slide. You can unmute and you can speak up. Otherwise, I can go ahead. So any question till here? Ladies, any question till here? If no, you can say no. Thank you so much,
No.
Disha. Thank you. Thank you.
No.
Thank you, everyone. So let's move further. Now we are getting into details of business analytics with Excel. So we have learned so much till now about business analysis. Okay. Have you understood well about business analysis till now? Yeah, the models which are used in business analysis work, and also this framework of DDDM. Okay, you have understood so far, ladies?
Yes.
Yes. So now let's understand what is the analytics. So business analytics we are going to talk about. So analysis, when some data is analyzed at deeper level, at okay, it goes towards the analytics. So the focus of business analytics is that data and reporting. Okay, data are there, whatever you perform an activity, like I can I know that every single day you are coming over here and you are attending this session, but still I can have some data on every single person's name. I may have data that for how many long hours you were engaged. Okay, you were paying attention. Okay, you were going ahead, you were doing multitasking. Okay, for how long, how much attention you had. Okay, 100%, 20%, or in fact how many classes you attended, how many summary you have sent back. Okay, how many videos you created. Okay, how much understanding you have, that can be grabbed based on the summary video you throw in the group. So these are some so data will be there, and based on those data reports can be generated. Do you agree with this, that based on any data you can come up with the report, and report can be talking about various multiple things about your attention, about your presence, about your engagement, and so on? Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Thank
if
you.
you want, can I just intervene for some time, because you have been talking for a very long time? Please have
No,
some water.
you can definitely you
Yes,
can talk about.
thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So, girls, I just wanted to highlight here that when we talk about analytics and analysis, we have understood, right? They are business analysis, data analysis means you are trying to understand the requirement, or you are trying to understand what is to be needed, what the customer wants in the new application, or in general, or even as a typical word in discussions, we say try to analyze the situation, try to analyze the problem, try to analyze the market. So that's a quite heavily used word. But when we say analytics has a very nice in detailed understanding attached to it. That simply means what are we doing with the data that we already have once we got after analysis. So how do we use that data? And when I say data, I'll just like to give you some simple examples. Do you see these ads on TV, especially ad campaigns which comes from Dove and Tresemme, wherein they say we took a poll of 1,000 women, or we took votes from 1,000 women, and they said that that the hair is frizzy, that the hair is dry, that the hair is oily, what not. You remember? Have you seen any such ads or any such campaigns on TV or in live or in malls? Yeses or no's?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think? Why do they ask you to fill that form, and what do they do about it? Or it's just a time consuming activity when they give you a form and they ask you to write, and first of all they take your information like your phone number and your email ID, which is very important for them for advertisement and marketing point of view. Second, they gather this data to analyze and to have analytics on this means, for example, in a particular region, if they have 1,000 women coming to that mall, or watching that ad, so they understand their hair pattern, they understand what kind of products they use, they understand what are the genuine issues. Sometimes because of the water the hair gets damaged, or any other thing, the weather is too dry, that might affect. It's just a relatable example I'm trying to make you understand. So the background story behind this campaign is that the data that they gather, they actually analyze, and they have business analytics on it. That means they kind of have this permutation and combination. They might use macros, they work in Excel, or they have their research team sitting in, wherein they ensure that how that will help the business to perform in future. Like for example, if out of 1,000, say 900 women complain that their hair is very dry and it's very fizzy, the best marketing campaign, or the best future investment for that particular company would be having a product that can moisturize your hair, that can make your hair less dry, that can make your hair more manageable, so such kind of things. So how did this idea, or how did this inception they got from? Because they did the market study, because they got the data, and they actually had the data analytics worked on that, and they understood what is the requirement or what is the problem to be solved. So this is just a small example to make you understand. I hope your understanding is clear. Why data analytics? Because it is not important that you only have the data. What do you do with that data? Right? That is more important. So I hope everybody is clear. You have any doubts in this? Why data analytics? Why it is done by business, organizations, and how it is useful? Yeses, nos, didn't understand anything that
Yes.
will do.
Yeah,
Yes?
it's clear now.
Yes.
Yes, thank you so
Okay,
much.
clear.
Gaurav, you want to
Yeah.
add something to it, or we can go to the next slide?
We can go to next
Yeah,
slide.
great.
Yes. Okay, so no question
We
over here.
already covered that slide. Any questions?
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
any question over here? If not, then let me ask you, did you understand so far about the uh, this DDM, that is the data driven decision making? Have you all?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so can you tell me what
Yeah.
is the very first step of the DDDM?
Define the
Finding the
problem.
problem.
Defining
Okay,
the
Finding the
problem.
problem.
okay.
Finding the problem.
I need a volunteer over here who can give me one example where you are able to define a problem. So any volunteer over here where you can just randomly go ahead and talk a new problem. The problem can be anything. Think of about it. So you, for that you need to become a thinker. So can anyone would like to be anyone would like to be a volunteer over here to share any problem? Problem could be not personal, it could be outside problem could be any uh, mm, you know global problem. Okay, and it could be any software issue. So who will be that? You can simply unmute yourself.
Inflation problem.
Okay, so is Disha or Prajakta? Sorry, I could not see on this.
Prajakta. It's
Prajakta.
Prajakta.
Prajakta, yes. So give me one example that what do you how you can define this problem, how well you can define, or how worst you can define. So now again give me both the example, Prajakta.
Uh, how well, earlier whenever I used to go to the grocery store, I used to buy a lot of things in 30 or 25 $30, but I'm spending now 70 to 80, almost $100 on it.
Okay, so one product earlier was bought for $30, now the same product is being bought for $70. Am
Hmm.
I right? Did I understand it well?
No, it's all about the groceries, not for one product.
Okay, it's about all the groceries. Okay, so
Hmm.
earlier means how early you are talking about?
Maybe 2 years back.
2 years back. So can you define this problem now like this way? 2 years ago, the grocery used
Hmm.
to come for $30, and now the same grocery is coming after 2 years for $70. Okay, am
Right.
I right?
Hmm.
So
Right.
based on that, can you become more specific and define this problem in terms of percentage, that within 2 years, I I experience the inflation has increased by this percent for grocery shopping. Can you define in this way as well? Yeah.
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 Uh, I can try.
Yeah, definitely means by 50%, the
Or
more than 50% the
more than 50%.
inflation has increased. Okay, do you have any control on it?
No.
No, so you can't
No.
do anything, but you have control on yourself, right?
Yes.
So now you will analyze it. Problem you have defined. Now let's analyze the problem. So when you were shopping the grocery, you can define what was the need and want. Okay, what you needed the most, what you wanted the most. Okay, so when you segregate that, you will identify. You have just you have identified the problem, and based on that problem, now you are analyzing what you used to shop, right? When you will analyze the problem, you will come with the insight. Hey, I used every time this kind of product while using the grocery. I could have avoided purchasing, because anyway it end up becoming 3 months until it is experienced that it is of the hot requirement. I'm not going to use it. So can I avoid purchasing this well in advance, when until the need arises? And by doing so, can I save some percentage of more spends? And then you will find that is number one. So you will analyze and you will come up with the various data. I can save on this by not buying this, or can I also, another insight will come, can I also buy the smaller product? Can I also buy the a different brand? So various insights are coming in the picture. Now when you will do that, insights are unlimited. Now you have taken a note of it, and now you will go ahead and test it. The moment you will test it, will you have the same complaint? Hey, inflation has increased. No, you will not have. Your actual problem was that you end up spending more money. Okay, in last 2 years you are spending 50% extra. Okay, so that was the major problem. Okay, inflation was not your problem. Your money going out 50% extra, which was creating the pain, was the actual problem. Do you agree with this, Prajakta?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So the moment you define this problem very, very effectively, you will understand that what the action item can be taken up. Okay, and how you can achieve, to a solution. Okay, so this was what it is. So what I am going to do is that, let me reshare my screen. By the way, was this example was Prajakta was talking useful to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. It was useful for Disha and Apamita. I know it is also useful for Tejaswini. So Tejaswini, by the way, she is visible or she just dropped? I think she dropped. She is traveling, I guess. Okay, no problem. So still see, so how, okay, Tejaswini is there. She raised her hand. So yeah, she is listening on mute. So she has confirmed that she will be on mute. Okay, let me come back and share this.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tejaswini had messaged that she won't be able to speak. I think
Yes,
even
yes.
Shweta
Go.
has messaged her. I think it's a weekend and
Yeah,
people
I
are
understand.
traveling. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so what you see here is about business analytics. We are approaching ahead. So this is one of the example. Prerna ji, would you like to explain this slide again?
Yes, sure. So when I was talking about that earlier example, wherein we were trying to gather data for, any particular organization, say Dove or, a Tresemme, Pantene, where, they got the data for females with these hair problems and all. So now if you want to work on that data in Excel, okay, we are taking example of Excel. So is there any difference, any disturbance coming to you? 1 second, there's a vehicle nearby my place. 1 second, I'll just move. Yes. So try to understand, we have this very simple yet very powerful, I would say formulas or, keywords which we use in Excel. So starting with, and these are quite easy, most of them, can explain what they mean. So it simply says, you tell me what does the word concatenate means for you? Anybody, yeah, just it's an open question. What, and it's actually mentioned also, but in English, what does the word concatenate mean?
Technical.
Sorry,
Technical.
sorry, I didn't get you.
I said technical.
Nay, concatenate. The meaning of the word concatenate.
Concatenate means to join or
Yes,
combine.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
when you combine two things.
Yes, absolutely. Concatenate means you're kind of joining or adding, or what you said? Joining, adding, and third one was
Combining the value.
combining. Yeah,
Combining.
absolutely, absolutely. So, so basically, this means when you have, by the way, this I'll just give you some basic terminologies in Excel. You see these A, B, C, D, E, right? These are called columns in Excel. Okay, so the entire row or entire line of A, vertical line, is called as a column. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the diagonal, not the diagonal, this line is called as rows. Okay, so vertical we have columns, and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, those are called rows. So imagine the in that B column we have written data cell. That is a cell. Okay, the data cell written that box. See, you all work with Excel very well, but we don't often use the terminology. That's why I'm sharing this. So this is called as a cell. So if you want to add what is mentioned in that B cell, B comma 2, that is the B column and the second row, and what is mentioned in the B comma 4, so that is candidate 1. So if you use the concat function, it will give you a combined word as data cell condition 1. It will just add both the words. In case of words, it will add them in and in case of numbers also, it just adds a number behind it. So that simply means concatenation. These are some basic functions we want you to know, functions and formulas, for your easy understanding. So just go with the flow. If you haven't heard them for the first time, that's fine. You can try it on Excel. You can watch some other Excel simplifying video. It's just for your general knowledge, as well as if you use Excel tomorrow, and then you should know this. Okay. So now, as the length, mentioned, length, len is the formula, which gives you the length of the character. So, for example, if we have this data cell, a cell, and you use the len column, what can be the actual count? So DATA, even the space, and CELL. So it will be 9. Character means each alphabet or each space holder, even it counts as a space also many a times. Okay, so this simply gives you the length of that particular word, or the number it is storing, the length of overall that thing is mentioned. Count A identifies whether the cell is empty or not. Okay, it simply gives you it's empty or not. Days, network days, gives you the dates, days mentioned in that cell. Okay, some of I'm just running through. Don't worry, it's just for your good to know things we want to share with you. So sum ifs is basically it can use to some values which meet a particular criteria. This is not that heavily used, but good to know. So see, you have this if condition mentioned. Okay, so we can have this sum if is in. Okay, if the gender of these people is female, then you can consider. So that's a if condition. Okay, if the women are above the age of 30, then that condition is met. So it's just like conditioning a thing that is we can use in Excel. And last, they are quite heavily used and quite easy. So first is, I'll go from okay, average if is what if the same like sum if the average of whatever age of all these women is 40, then we can go ahead with that data. So average will give you average of all these numbers or all the data what you have. And VLOOKUP is very important. I'll just give you the understanding. It simply means you have two different Excel files. Okay, imagine, and in one file, and in both the file, you have only one column. Column, the vertical row, a vertical line. Only one column as unique or as similar in both the files. So that simply means in one file you have your earlier vote or poll data. In another file you have your geographical data. Okay, so imagine a geographical, in your area wise data you might have 10,000 women, but in your data you can have only 1,000 women, because that particular weekend only 1,000 women visited the mall. So you can get that a common 1,000 data from the VLOOKUP. So when we are dealing with lot of data, we use this VLOOKUP function. And last but definitely not the least, find and search. So this functionality does what it says. It basically searches or finds the data in that Excel. It can be used with Control F. You just have to press Control F. That's for find, and then you can mention, okay, maybe you can write the age 35, and then all the data will come. You can write the age 25, and all the data with that 25 particular number will be shown to you, or you can be able to just go through that. So these are some of the very easy as well as simple and widely used, not all of them, to be honest. In my day-to-day work I use find and search heavily, at times length, and sometimes when the data is very huge in numbers, then we look up. And others I personally don't use them much, but depends on the kind of data you deal with, you can use. But these are just good to know functions. If you are not comfortable with them as of now because you heard them maybe for the first time, that's absolutely fine. You can do your self research, you can rewatch this video, you can play around with Excel a little bit, all with these functions. But it simply means you should know the names, and you should know what kind of functions and formulas are used. That was it, only to add from for this slide. Gaurav, you want to add something here?
So I just want to say, so these are very, very important formula. So apart from this, there are various formula, but to start with, you must be knowing. So I'm sure that sometime you might have used formula for summation. So for some you can see on the screen that there are in column C, various data there can be summed up, okay, using the sum function. Sum function itself give you liberty to add various cells. Okay, cells are represented the one cell which is selected over here. So multiple cells when selected are called cells. Okay, so by the way, any question to participants over here? Did you
No.
understand all of them? And if
Yes.
you have not understood all of them, then also you can tell. Okay. Okay, the silence says that they have understood everything and the confirmation as well. Thank you. Well, we can move to the next one. And here
Yes.
is one example about the pivot table. Okay, so would you like to explain this, Prernaji? You have been using pivot table very,
Yes.
very frequent. So I think,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. So you can have this example in front of you. I'll just give you, summarized understanding. So pivot tables are honestly to be, fun to work with. It was not mentioned on earlier slide, but I heavily use pivot table. I'll tell you for what kind of things I personally use or I professionally use pivot tables. So imagine, I'll give you my favorite example that is generally to do with food and parties. So imagine you have a birthday party at home for your kids, okay, for your kids, and there are approximately 50 odd people are gonna come, and you have decided to cook at home. You don't want to go for caterer, and you want to cook at home. So how would you go about it? Will only this much information be sufficient for you? No, right? You would know how many children, how many adults, how many vegans, how many veg, how many non-veg, what all people or what are kind of kids yet coming to your party, and what are the timings they'll be coming in, though you have it in the evening, but still. So what you do with this data, for example, you can see here, they have mentioned 2013, 2012, 2011. Can you see the years? Can you see the years?
Yes,
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 no,
yes.
yeah, great. And what they have mentioned, they have shared the sum of airport passengers. This was for as per this graph. What we can do for our example is, instead of the years, we can have the mentioning the name, the number of the people, or the rather the age group of the people, right? So we can have 5 to 10 years age, we can have 10 to 20, we can have 30 to 40, like that. And in this, instead of the some passengers, we can have the categories, or we can have the columns as vegan, veg, and non-veg, right? Assuming very few people vegan, you might have some 2 to 4 adults in the vegan department, and majority of the people in veg and non-veg. So you tell me, what clarity does this diagram will give you? Visualize our diagram, okay? Because I don't want to give this example. That's a very simple and typical. This example you can just read and understand it, to be very honest, but that's okay. So what will happen when you have such table in front of you, right? So you would know, okay, I have to cook particularly 1 or 2 specific dishes for vegan people, okay, because that they have to be all this dairy free and obviously meat free and all. Then I can have some common starters, some vegetable starters, which will go with all, which will work for all. And then I can, or if I have enough bandwidth, or if the majority of people fall into non-veg, then I can go for a chicken biryani, or for any other meat biryani I would want to, or any particular starter. So how did this pivot table help you? Did it give you a clarity of what kind of people in what age group will give you, will come to your party, and how you can cater to them?
Yes.
Right? Right? Similar way now, from coming from this example to this, what we have this graph on the right side, wherein it's mentioned thousands, or people in thousands and lakhs, and or maybe in millions. And you have this Q1, Q2 year wise data. Okay, so at times with this numbers, it's quite difficult to read the graphs. So we create this pivot, and see on the left side, it's see, basically readability and understanding are the uh, super benefits of pivot. Okay, now we are just having this data for maybe particularly of 2009 to 2013, and for 3 or 4 quarters. So it's not that huge, to be very honest. It's just barely 4 years into 4 quarters, so maybe 16 rows of data. But imagine when we have this surveys with population understanding, or we have the surveys with universities, like how many students are taking which course, what is their major, what is the specialization, so that kind of data, when we talk about, it's really huge in numbers. It goes in thousands, and lot of line items. So how would you use it to your benefit? If a university wants to see what is the current trend of students choice, how would they use that data? So for such kind of things, we have pivot table, wherein you can actually see the data that is understandable, that you can work with. Okay, so any doubt in this?
No.
Pivot is, I'll tell you, pivot is very easy and very understandable, or I would say useful is the right word. Why do we use pivots? Because we want to work on it, or we want to understand from it. If somebody just gives you data, you will go crazy. Now there are some typical examples wherein they have this survey outside the malls, or in any theater, movie theater, when they ask you what is your favorite flavor of chocolate or ice cream, and then the kids will like hazelnut, and I will like chocolate, enjoy chocolate chips, or anybody can say orange or whatnot. So they have all this data for maybe thousands and millions of people, and what do they do with it? They work on it with the help of pivot table, because then they will know, okay, I have 10,000 people saying, say chocolate chips, whereas I have only 1,000 people who are asking for orange flavor. So they know how their demand is, they know how to work on it.
So basically, to achieve your goal for understanding and to come up with better marketing strategy, or to have the appropriate and perfect food items for your party, you have to it's a best way. I mean, I'm not suggesting you create a pivot, if there are 10 people at for party, but yeah, if there are 100 people, if there's a big ceremony, definitely it will be helpful for you. So are we good? Are we good? Gaurav, you want to add something? I think these many examples, they are able to kind of connect the dots. If not, you can definitely speak up. Can Gaurav, would you want to add something here?
No, I'm good. So yeah, definitely we can go ahead. So yes, so very well explained. So I think we can take one more slide and then we can wrap up for the day. So let's, yeah. So
Yes,
could you
and
please?
I would love to go ahead with this slide
Yeah.
because yes, thank you. So before reading it, I'm pretty sure you must have all read it. When I just simply say the word stakeholder, like how I asked for concatenation, when you simply hear this English word stakeholder, what comes to your mind?
Customer.
Okay, you get the word customer from stakeholder, that's fine. Okay, what else for others?
Someone who
Client,
has an
vendor, or
interest in
client.
it.
Perfect, who said that? Someone who has an interest in it.
Aparmita.
Okay, Aparmita, quite well said, very well said. Who was the other one was saying something? Please repeat, I couldn't hear you.
A client or vendor.
Okay, absolutely fine. See, basically, because we have been listening to these words in this context of client and we are so much kind of used to thinking that these words mean this. So basically, what Aparmita said is quite closer to what I wanted to explain, or rather, still want to explain. Stakeholder simply means someone or a set of people who has stake or who has interest, who holds interest in your activity. Okay. So when you're working in any organization, who are your stakeholders? Definitely the customer, because I know you are working on his requirement and he's waiting for the delivery. He has invested his money in your organization for the work. So yes. Then your employees, because they're working on the project, because their salaries are being paid off by that project, because they have their future and growth and all these things tied up with the organization, then definitely employees. Then you have senior management or leadership, wherein they are also stakeholders, because the company's future, company's performance, company's growth is directly linked with their growth or and their decision making. So they are very much into this as from stakeholder point of view. Then you have your investors and sponsors. Is a public limited company, all the people who have invested in your shares, then they are also interested how the company is working, how they are going, are they making profits, are there any wrong decisions, and what is happening. Then you have government authorities, or wherein okay, how, for example, any big company like TCS or Google or IBM, what are your new innovations, how can we help government with that, if anything in research and development, and many things like that. And yes, you have your communities, because if as a CSR venture, that is corporate social responsibilities, an organization definitely contributes towards many different communities. It can be for handicapped, for old people, for disabled, for anybody and everybody, for blinds, for less privileged. So imagine everybody. Okay, and definitely last but not least, trade associations means your organizations or your associations for particular industry. It can be technical, it can be food, it can be cloth, it can be any other industry. So imagine a one single business unit or one single organization has so many stakeholders. And last, it's not mentioned here, but yeah, it's mentioned as suppliers, but in a routine word, we call them as vendors. Okay, so they can be in different format. If you have an IT company, then suppliers providing laptops, desktops, network cables, or all this machinery, servers, they are your suppliers. Then and people who provide you furnishing, and all this electricity, or maybe the cleaning staff, those are your suppliers. And vendors and suppliers, and also in the form of you have people coming in from other organizations and working in your company. Like when I was a part of Accenture, I used to work with ICICI Bank as a vendor. As a Accenture employee, I used to go to ICICI Bank's corporate offices or offices and work there. So for them, Accenture was a vendor. So many a times there are so many uh, entities, people, associations involved, and they all have an vested interest, or they have and very active interest in your work. These are your stakeholders, right? So when you were a child, your entire family, along with your parents, your buas, your uncles, your aunties, your teachers, your tuition teachers, your neighbors, everybody was a stakeholder, because everybody was helping you to grow, to teach you something, how to eat, how to walk, how to talk, how to study, what not to do. So simple way, who is involved into your progress, in your growth, who is there, who has the direct benefits, or I would say impact on them, they are the stakeholders. Now we're talking about IT industry point of view, so the earlier example, but for understanding the later example is suitable. So simple way, this is what we mean when we say stakeholders. And any further questions in this? Yes, anybody? I mean, either you totally understood or you did not understood at all. So give me one. Okay, or it's a go or no go. Go when you understand, no go means you did not understand. Yeah. Please say go or no go.
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 Great. Yes. Anybody for no go? You can chat if you can't talk. See, because these things are it simply means that stakeholders are people who are directly affected by your project, the profits and benefits and delivery. So they are kind of closely connected to you, and they are in a way linked to your performance. If you deliver on time, the customers would be happy, the vendors would be happy, they will get the payment. If you don't deliver on time, customer will not be that happy. You might incur losses because you're taken longer time to deliver. So yes, it's all from the business point of view. So I think, Gaurav, I am done with this slide. You want to add something, or we can end the session for
Yeah, so
today, as
very
we are.
well explanation,
Yes.
and we have
Thank
given a
you.
lot of information, I guess. So yes, so we can, I think, continue further on Sunday night. So, but before that, let me ask how many of you can understand what Prerna and me coming together and sharing that with you. So yeah, so okay, let me stop screen share somehow. So a very good term, I would say, Prerna, you told them. So can you also tell them that how do we use go no go in IT?
There are many factors for that, to be very honest. So basically, we always have a checklist, which is like our go-to thing to check if we are done all the activities in that particular sequence or not. And if that's all done, it's all properly managed, it's all successful, then it's a go. If there is some roadblock, if there is some delay, if there is some failure, then definitely a no-go. I really like this term. This is heavily used in space and rocket and all that things. So when they have a go, they mention it's a go, and the issue they say no go. So I personally use this because this is very relatable for us. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so in fact, even in IT, very frequently it is used by
yeah.
yeah, QA team.
Banking they don't use much, but IT, yes, they do. Absolutely.
Okay, so how it is go and no go is about going live. So whenever the decision comes in that a new deployment has come into the consideration, that time team is asked, and sometime as a vendor you send out email confirming that this is a go or no go to your client. So yes, this is how it is being used in even in IT. So on this note, I would like to ask Prajakta, one thing you would like to say about today's learning, because you were responding actively. So yes, Prajakta, how are you feeling? What do you feel like saying?
It's like too much overwhelming for me. Like I need to go through it again.
Okay. Again, you want to go through. That's really amazing. So thank you so much, Prajakta. Prajakta, call out someone's name on the screen.
Radha,
Radha. Yes, Radha. What do you feel like saying?
Yeah, today's session is very interesting about to know the more about the business requirements and the business requirement gathering process. What are the steps involved and the data-driven model like that. So, and I need to go through the video about to learn about the more functions in the Excel.
Yes, Radha. Thank you so much for defining your action plan as well. Thank you. Thank you so much. Radha, call out someone's name on the screen.
Elizabeth?
Elizabeth. Yes, Elizabeth. What do you feel like saying? Elizabeth, you have unmuted yourself, but you are not audible to me. Elizabeth, you can shake your mic.
Can you
And
hear me?
yes, now I can. Go
Okay.
ahead.
I say today's session was a little bit overwhelming. I definitely have to go through it tomorrow, like at least like twice to get every concept that was taught today.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for sharing. So call out someone's name on the screen, you see.
Disha?
Disha. Yes, Disha. What do you feel like saying?
I feel like saying like it's new for me. So much information and interesting that I need to go through as well.
Yeah. So thank you so much for sharing this. And additionally, when you will do it, you will see it. Okay. So yes, definitely, Disha, you are right. You will have to go through it again to experience it. And maybe in next session, you may see this directly inside Excel me doing. Then you will have more confidence. But I want you to first practice it by your own. So thank you so much, Disha, for sharing. Disha, call out someone's name on the screen.
Ruby?
Ruby, yes, Ruby, what do you feel like saying?
I feel like like this is sprint 2 now. Scrum was like sprint 1. Now you started another sprint.
Yeah.
That's a very good way of saying it. Yes,
Oh my
absolutely. You are
God.
already in the scrum zone, I would say.
Totally. Sprint 2. So sprint 2 is your word. Thank you so much, Ruby. Call out someone's name
So
on the
I think
screen.
intensity and interest is increasing. So yeah, definitely sprint too. Yeah, go ahead, go.
Yeah, Ruby. So you another name from you?
I think only Aparmita, but she cannot talk right now, right? So then I think
Apamita can. Apamita can talk.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Apamita.
Very realistic and very practical approach today.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you want to say, just?
Yeah.
Apamita? Okay, no problem, Apamita. Do go through again. So yes, call out someone's name on the screen other than Tejaswini.
I think only Prerna is left.
No, someone is sitting beside you.
I cannot see anybody else on the name.
You can see on this.
Sharda is.
Yeah, yeah, Sharda. What do you feel like saying?
Bit too foggy for me.
Sorry, I
think
couldn't hear. What did you say?
it's a bit too foggy for me,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and everything is new,
All right.
so I need to go through a lot.
So that's the action plan for you. That's the
So the Scrum, the Agile concepts seem to be more clear than this.
okay. Cool. So action defined as you want to go through again, right? And practice it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Sharda. I hope your throat is okay this time. Yeah.
Yeah, doing better.
Okay. Okay. Take care. So call out someone's name on the screen, Sharda, please.
Rena, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah,
Prerna ji.
thank you so much, Shad. And yeah, do take care of your throats. Have some, do some gargles, and obviously turmeric milk is the evergreen thing to go. And to sum up today's session, in my words, I would say it was a pretty deep dive. The way Gaurav started with all the detailing about analytics and overall, it is really wonderful, and the way you all have interacted is superb. And yes, as you all have been yourself mentioning, definitely a second or third read or listening to the video is essential, because as we mentioned, it's a sprint too, Ruby rightly highlighted, we are going an up notch in that understanding and learning. So as always, I'll encourage you to watch this video again, comment on the videos, like our videos, so not only your fellow mates will also understand you're watching it, you're encouraging others also. And not only from our batch, other trainers, BA videos, Scrum videos, you're definitely more than welcome to watch if you wish to, because that will give you a better understanding. And if you have any doubts, please reach out to us. You can DM us, you can message us in the group, you can share if you have any you want any further understanding on a particular topic. But please be connected, and keep working on yourself. Okay, so overall, a great session. Over to you, Gaurav. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, Prerna ji. Yes, yes, yes. We are getting into more towards details of it. So, but yeah, remember, so not long enough. So only hardly and mostly 2 session more, you may experience that there is a little bit of complexity, and then we will turn towards the end of the session and move towards question and answer much more. So yeah, thank you so much again. Yes, do your self research, rewatch this video, and when you rewatch this, don't forget, if you are missing on it, but that is drawing part. If you'll miss on drawing part, the summary will may become hollow. Okay, to make it more authentic and more deep, you must remember this golden quadrant of learning. I'm repeating, that is declaration followed by the anchoring, and then learning, and then drawing, and then summarizing. If you are not drawing, then summarizing may will fizzle out again. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your participation. So enjoy your means coming weekend. So yeah, so and very good night. Take care. We'll see you again on Sunday night. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Good
Gaurav, we
night.
can
Thank
talk
you.